I got all the other chats set up as well so we can see what's going on YouTube and stuff. So hopefully they don't continue to feel so neglected. Alright, I'm all set whenever you're all set. No, I cannot hear you at all, Retro, if you're talking. You might want to pop out and pop back in. Or is it me? Can everybody hear myself and or Retro? Hi, is this a little better? Okay, I can't hear Retro, so I will, maybe it's me. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. Okay, so I'll be right back. Hi, I can hear you. Can I be heard? Oh, that... Sorry, can you hear me now? Good. Good. Yeah, I was like, oh, ready when you are. Let's go. Let's get it, guys. Right. It hates this. But now I have to, like, let me get this stream window going again. Sorry. So one sec. Oh, no worries. Yay! Nice. Oh, I'm so happy for him. Like, congratulations, Space Chicken and Mrs. Space Chicken. We hope they have a wonderful life. Yeah, a whole quiverful, if you will. You know. Oh my god, you're so lucky that you have not heard of this concept. Especially around Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day tomorrow for our American friends. Yes. Yes. Here, I got you on the link situation. Yeah, there you go, guys. And also, we're in a bit of a competition with other political orgs, so let's come out on top. Make sure you go to the link and yeah, help us win. See, I wasn't naming any names, Greg, but yes, so, absolutely.
The other political orgs that shall not be named. We are in a race. All right.
Exactly.
But we got what? I think our debater's going to arrive in about 40 minutes or so. So we got some time to kill. And what better than have people come up, start debating the red button versus blue button. I'm sure it's showing up on all of your guys' feeds as it's been fucking just, it's just wedged its way in every part of my life. I've been debating friends with this shit. God, it's just been a topic that won't end. I don't know if you all feel the same, but yeah.
Can you explain the whole red versus blue situation? Because the only red versus blue I know is bleep bloop. Okay,
Is
back when Halo
bleep
was
blue?
like a thing.
You mean like red versus blue, like Rooster Teeth?
Yeah, Rooster.
It's bleep bloop. I'm not.
That's,
I thought I was
that's
pretty
I know
like
it is bleep
deep in
bloop.
it. What's bleep bloop?
They used to say bleep bloop
Hmm?
all the time. That was so
I
funny to me. But
I have no idea.
anyway, so but yeah, run it down for us
I
out of the
will.
loop old people. Okay.
All right. The youngsters, the youngins, has this hypothetical. 1 second. All right. There are two buttons, a red one and a blue one. If more than 50% of people choose the blue option, then everyone lives, regardless of which button they chose. There's no penalty. If more than 50% of people choose the red button, then the people who chose the red button survive, and the people who choose the blue button die. Which button do you choose? So yeah,
Say it.
if
Say
we
it
have
one more time. Again. Let
okay,
me reiterate
you're
how
fine, you're
old I
fine.
am. Okay.
No, you're fine. If more than 50%, or sorry, there are two buttons, a red one and a blue one. If more than 50% of people choose the blue button, then everyone lives, regardless of which button they choose. There's no penalty. If more than 50% of people choose the red button, then people who choose the red button survive, and the people who choose the blue button die.
Ah, interesting. Okay. It's kind of like a
I should have went to I should have went to the
trolley
tweet of it. I
problem.
found some like Reddit post. Yeah, yeah. It's like a trolley problem, basically, type thing.
Okay.
Sorry. Here's the like tweet, I believe. Everyone in the world has to take a private vote by pressing a red button or a blue button. If more than 50% of the people press the blue button, everyone survives. If less than 50% of people press the blue button, only people who press the red button survive. Which button do you press? So yeah, it's a kind of like trolley problem type shit.
Okay. Okay.
All right. In
Paul, thanks
side
for
chat.
putting that up.
Or thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
So can we have one red buttoner and one blue buttoner from the audience? Raise your hands.
Interesting.
Right. I think we have one person. Looks like they're ready to come up.
All right. And how much time are we going to
We'll give
allot?
them 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
We'll give them 10
Gotcha.
minutes. Uh,
Blue, no
Let the
matter
chat
who.
decide their fate.
Yes. All right. We've got the wounded deer. You mean to pull them up? Retro? Yay or nay? On the
Oh,
wounded
yeah.
deer. Oh, there you go. Got it.
Yes. The first debate, he got banned. I don't know.
Hello,
I
can
don't know
you
what happened. to be honest. But yeah. Hello, hello. What are you, the red or blue button?
I'm a staunch blue buttoner.
All right. Do we have any red buttoners out there who's willing to challenge the wounded deer? A quick 10-minute debate. Come on. Any red buttoners out there?
We must not have any right wingers in the audience. I feel like this could also be one of those tit for tat kind of uh, games being played out in an
Mhm.
interesting way.
There's no red buttoners here? Oh my gosh.
Somebody's getting called out. Kenneth.
Is that anything
we
beyond
have
game?
a
I don't know.
we have a neither buttoner.
Dude, I've had so many debates. I
Okay.
probably could do a good red buttoner impression. Okay.
I just had to do that for Subversion School. We had a special episode where our dear friend Nurk wanted to have somebody steel man the right wing position. So if you're out canvassing in areas where you're trying to redistrict, like in Virginia, what do you say to somebody who's like, no, I don't want shit to change. I don't want four more
Mhm.
Democratic candidates or House members. So I had to kind of put myself in the red shoes today, and I was like, yeah, I think we made COVID up. Yeah, I don't want any I don't want any redistricting. I like things exactly the way they are. So I was kind of had to go take a
Okay.
shower
This
after
is so
that.
surprising. I thought this would have been a much more contentious debate or much more contentious topic in this server, but really no red
True.
buttoners out there. That's
Yeah. Even if
crazy.
even
Oh
if you're
yes,
like
we got
blue,
Wishcaster. Wishcaster is gonna throw his bone in. Okay, into the lot. Okay,
he's already on the bracket.
true.
But
I mean,
yeah,
this is just this is a
it's fine though.
ex-
It's not a tournament thing.
what are they called? What are they called when when you do a support outside your country?
Oh,
Exhibitious? I have no idea.
like an expat kind of a situation.
Oh, Kenneth.
Oh,
We do have Kenneth.
Kenneth. All right. Let's go.
Version? I don't know. I'm really scared. I'm just gonna say the word for like people that like to go nude in public or some shit. I feel like they're very close in my head. I don't know why.
It's all right. You mean to pull Kenneth up?
And
There we go.
Okay,
And
yeah. Yeah, so you should red button if it's the case that you think red buttoning will cause the most value.
all right, we'll start the attendance there. So go for it.
Yeah, I just have very low credence in the idea that red buttoning will actually have any causal impact on value obtaining.
Okay. Well, when you say value, like I learned this tricks. So, like, you have a red vote or a blue vote, but both of them naturally have different outcomes, right? You can have the outcome of the blue world or the outcome of a red world. So even if you vote like you have a red vote, you could end up in the blue world, or most likely the case by virtue of your vote, you can end up in the red world. I think like I generally agree. I think you should vote on like what gives you the most value. But like I think nominally, like when I think of the blue vote, blue world, like this quadrant just seems to have like more value than like the red vote, blue world, right? Because you just end up the moral winner, even though you could not actually be voting for selfless reasons. So I would say that you nominally have more things, and as a result, you're nominally more selfish and nominally just get more value out of that outcome potentially. In the
Yeah,
instance where you arrive at
sure.
the blue vote red world, the world which you in my mind, disappear and effectively commit suicide. I see a supreme value in this, right? I view this as the ultimate act of selfishness by virtue of throwing yourself in harm's way, right? And therefore coercing other people to throw themselves in harm's way additionally. But I also view it as a win as escaping the red world. I think viewing the red world as like survival should generally be viewed as negative. I think when you boil this down to the proportion of which you believe people would actually vote blue, even if you do outcome into the red world, it would actually be quite catastrophic, right? Even if 20% to 49% of the population were to disappear, I believe the largest proportion of individuals that are most likely press the blue button would immediately be religious people, religious fundamentalists in the world, right? The question itself, due to the framing, is immediately a act of God trying humanity, right? Like uh, there's no logistical feasibility for this hypothetical to occur beyond some sort of divine entry. This divine entry doesn't have to be like any Abrahamic God. The God doesn't even have to be identified. We just need to reconcile that it is accept this like God-like ramification. Um, the thing that immediately happens the moment you enter a red world is through shared human experience of having voted for this button and effectively killing all the blue voters. There will be a split in red voters where some will commit suicide due to the understanding the results of their action, and many of them will start religious cults where some will cope and say, well, the blue voters didn't actually die. If God, by this hypothetical, could send us into create this hypothetical itself, they probably just teleported to an alternate dimension. There might be a red cult, which is like, okay, well, we've kind of end up in I don't know, Mad Max Fury Road and just start killing each other because God thought it was okay to kill each other or something like that. I just think the red world is like infinitely negative. I think it's worse than hell. So
Yeah, kind of your
Yeah, yeah.
response.
So it could be infinitely negative if we assume like people's sort of actions in the future. Could also be the case that 90% of people press red, and then these sort of negatives that you're describing don't actually obtain. And then on top of that, it's not really clear that it's not really clear that it's the case that everybody has the same values as you. So dependent on their values, they should vote
yeah, but if you're
otherwise.
gonna make the argument that like 90% of people are gonna vote red, I'm just gonna tell you like the largest like proportion of the population are like religious people, right? And like I don't know how you can like dispute the fact that I don't know how you can like say anything less than 30% of people will vote blue, like just based on the fact of religion, right? They're like the largest identifiable population in the entire world, and we extrapolate it to this size. I don't even have to do anything else, right? In terms of like other like countries like social, ethical, or cultural norms. Just the fact that like when you depending on how you envision how this hypothetical is implemented, right? In my mind, it is literally like being teleported to a room with a door that you cannot open, where time is stopped. You must immediately frame it as like an act of God.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
that's
don't know how
fine.
you can say it's
We
more than
might,
30%.
yeah, we might agree that it's probably 20% or 30% or 40% of people, dependent on the sort of like context that they grew up in and what sort of values were instilled. That might be the case, but I think it still stands to reason that if you don't think that you're actually going to reach 51% or 50%, you shouldn't be voting blue in the first place because you don't actually have a high belief that you'll be the one that flips the vote.
Yeah, I think at this point, like if the vote was, and I've said it before, like I know many people have seen the Twitter poll where it's like 50%, so it skews a lot of people's opinions. But if I had seen that poll and if it was like 35%, me personally, just purely out of principle, I would still vote blue. I think I think the concept of a universal shared human experience uh, that is associated with this negative thing genuinely terrifies me, and in that it will like permanently skew every single future uh, prisoner's dilemma or other game theory thing in which there are like dire consequences. Think like The Last of Us or something. I don't want to live in that world.
So just to be clear, in the case where you find out, it's probably the case that like 30% of people are going to vote blue. pretty solid that people are going to vote blue 30% of the time, then you still press the blue button.
Sorry, if 30% of the time people would vote, sorry, 30% of the time, 30% of people vote blue. Is that what
No,
I'm understanding?
sorry. So it's just probably the case. Like we have some studies that whatever
Oh yeah,
methodologies you
yeah,
find,
probably the case that people would vote blue. Then
yeah,
yeah, I'd probably
30%
still
of
vote blue.
people.
I would want to escape the red world. Yes, I think it'd probably be my most efficient
Yeah,
means of going
that's
out,
interesting.
and that's like the
I
highest
normally take
value.
it to be the case that you should like pause about ending your life. You should probably think something like, well, maybe I'll test out Red World, see how it is, instead of just killing yourself. But I mean, if those are
Yeah,
your
potentially the
values,
case,
that
but it's
sounds
like
kind of
the
weird.
reason why I would vote blue is like it's not 100% chance, right? Like I don't take it to be like an absolute. Like once it occurs, like it's kind of like out of my hands. So I guess there it's just like don't think about it.
Yeah, that seems bizarre. But hey, if that's how you feel.
The wounded deer. Is there any percent? Like if it was like 5%, we're gonna vote blue. Is there any percent that you'd be like, okay, at this point, fuck it?
Yeah, if it was like yeah, I think if it was below 30%, then I probably wouldn't vote blue. I think if it was like 20%, then I'd be more inclined. But like I could get pretty low. I think
Wait, but I thought the value was you didn't want to live in a red world.
yeah, but the red world has
It
to
kind of
like
seems
the
like the
reason why I
winning
don't want to live
camp.
in the red world is because I perceive like a certain amount of suffering, right? I think like if 30% were gone, then like the suffering, the amount of suffering, like I'm still calling the question. I just think 30% threshold like reaches
Don't
that
you have some
requirement.
humility on like, well, maybe 30% wouldn't be that bad either. Maybe 40% wouldn't be that bad either.
Listen, I think everyone has a threshold as well. I don't think this is like a unique to me. It's just like I'm probably more permissible than others in like my attachment to life.
Well, we did it. We did the
If
whole
I told you the
discourse.
opposite, right, where if it was like, hey, if let's say it was like 48% people were expected to vote blue, would you vote blue? I don't know if like that would change you.
Yeah, at some point in the getting closer to 50-50, I vote either way.
One minute.
Yeah.
1 minute.
I think it's like one thing I often hear in these discussions is that everyone what like does this thing out of like either it always seems to boil down between selfishness and like selflessness, but like actually has anyone here ever seen the anime Full Metal Alchemist? There's like a character named Greed, like he has to do this thing for like the big bad evil guy, right? But he has to, like sacrifice his subordinates. But he kind of like doesn't want to do that, right? Because he's like, man, like my subordinates like kind of a part of me, and like despite being like a selfish, deadly sin, I'm kind of attached to them as a result of that. Like I don't really care about like the teenager who works at the Starbucks serving me a macchiato, right? Like, but I care about the mechanism which serves me a macchiato. So it's like I just imagine that all if all like 30%, 40%,
That's
49% of
it,
the population were to
guys.
disappear, all these
It's time.
all these
Real shit.
mechanisms would disappear, right? So like you can vote blue without being selfless, like but I do believe
True.
blue is the moral choice. But
Well,
you can just make the choice without like the moral consideration of it, just purely for selfish reasons. And
true.
so I'm really
All
trying to
right.
contribute.
Thank you. The wounded deer. Now your guys' lives is up to the voters to see who did better. Who will keep on to debate it another round. There'll be a poll in side chat.
Yes. So we have wounded deer for blue, Kenneth for red. One sec.
What a interesting name. The wounded deer. How'd you come up with that one?
Yeah, it's a painting name by an artist, a very beautiful artist named Frida Kahlo. She hated her life because she was born a woman in Mexico, and she had like chronic spinal injuries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, before the vote comes in, if Wounded wins, I think he should talk about his one of his views is something like children are taken to the state or given to the state. He should talk
What?
about that next. That should be the next debate topic if he wins. So this is just
Interesting.
Dude, come up or I missed you, my dude. I get you up here
Huh.
sometime.
So the
All
poll
right.
is live.
and just to update everyone, to get everyone on the same page. We did have a debate tonight. However, one of the debaters got banned from the server, so we're doing a little something extra to keep you guys occupied until our other debater, who's currently at work right now, can make it back, bring you guys that excellent content I know you're all waiting for. Yeah. Give it like a minute or so
And also, while you're
for the poll in the side
while
chat.
we're
So
waiting,
vote now to save one of these two. Keep them up here for another round. Yeah, go for it.
I was just gonna say, go ahead and also make sure you're voting or registering to vote. Sorry, by clicking
Yes, make sure you're registered to vote.
digitalgroundgame.org/register. Yes,
True.
we're in a competition, so help us win
True.
against other political, quote unquote, left wing organizations.
True.
So help us
You
out,
better
guys.
be registered to vote, okay?
Yeah, we want
Like
you.
Liam Neeson from Taken. Okay, I'll find you. And not all
We
the
have
other
a
stuff.
certain
Okay,
set
Liam
of
Neeson,
skills.
he said a lot of things. Okay, I don't condone all everything you said, but that movie, okay, had some fire quotes.
True.
But give it another minute
Alright.
for people to wrap up the voting, and then we'll see what the results are.
Sounds good. We've got 16 votes in so far. That's a pretty good amount, but let's see if we can't get
With how many people are voting,
a few
okay,
more.
I don't think people are actually registered to vote. Okay, there's 27 people here, and there's only 16 votes. I mean, these numbers aren't adding up, guys. Okay,
Exactly. But let's get some practice with our voting in. Go ahead and vote for either Wounded
True.
Deer or Kenneth. Let's flex these muscles, friends.
Yes,
And then go register to vote. Yes.
We should actually post the link inside chat. Someone was asking about the register to vote.
Yeah, we'll
there's
do
a
it.
little.
We'll do it again. Happily, gladly. There you go.
I was just checking. What? No, she's checking to see that you're registered to vote. God, calm down.
Yeah.
All right. All right. If you could wrap up the poll, that'd be great.
All right, let's do it. And also make sure you guys are wrapping up your polls, okay? There's a lot less safety out there these days. We don't want
is pro safe sex.
Yes,
Not
we
actually
don't
know,
want
but I'm guessing you are. Okay.
unnecessary Mother's
Digital
Day.
grounding. Unnecessary. True.
All right.
All right.
So we got 17 votes. You
Possible
guys
weapon.
ready? Let's go ahead and end this now. All right. Looks like Wounded Deer has won this poll with 11 votes to Kenneth's 6. So that gives me a lot of hope that the blue button will most likely have been pressed by this group at least.
Well done,
So.
Dave. Well done.
Yeah, I think it was the correct choice. Like 77% of the planet is like religious. Like even if half of them, and plus the kids who are like,
real shit. True. Thank you, Kenneth, for coming up.
That's true.
We'll be taking it back now. Never be seen again. No, sorry. We're just gonna put you in the audience.
Sounds good.
All right.
Awesome.
Any other red buttoners? We'll have like one more before I believe our debater will be ready to go. So one more red buttoner. Any challengers willing to take it?
Kebabberg.
Kebabberg, let's fucking go.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see. Here, I just invited you up, so there we go.
I'm here. Okay, sorry. Give me 1 second. How's the audio? Okay?
Great.
Yeah, I'll turn you up my side. No worries.
Wonderful. Okay. Hey guys, how are things?
Good. How are you? Oh, hold on. Retro probably
Fantastic.
had to jump for a sec. There we go. Awesome.
Okay, so is Wounded Deer staying on as the bluer?
I believe so. He's a blue stand, okay? Blue no matter what, or what's it called?
Okay.
Blue no matter
What's
who.
the saying? Blue no matter
Blue
who.
no matter
Okay.
button. Okay.
True.
Okay. So I want to ask a couple of questions just to get an understanding of how you're looking at this hypothetical scenario. What do you what are the terms in your mind of this? Do you think that it's like, are we in the hypothetical, are we saying that it's a group of rational actors that are voting on this, or are we saying that it's like some people seem to think that it's everybody on the planet, essentially every man, woman, and child on the planet, regardless of
Every
circumstances, is getting
man,
a
woman, child, old
okay,
person, guy with dementia, your local bum down on the street.
okay. So we are essentially saying that the outcome of this vote is going to be down to mostly randomness, and then also how much we can weigh the self-interested nature of, let's say, the rest of the planet.
I don't know if it's so much randomness, but I do agree, like, the
So you
self-interested
think
nature is, like,
you
pretty
you think
important.
you think that the mentally impaired and the babies are going to be making rational actions here?
No, 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 no. But,
Okay, right. So we are completely conceding that there's going to be a massive part of this voter base that is now going to be acting on whether or not they essentially like the color red or blue better.
yeah, there's probably a subset of the
So we
entire
are
world
okay.
population who do that.
You see, I find this wholly uninteresting, by the way, if this is how we're setting up the hypothetical, because we're completely removing like any sort of like moral element to the red or blue button pusher at a certain point. Like at this stage you're essentially giving it to a bit of a thought, like a toss up, and then deciding whether or not you think that, you know, at the end the coin flip is going to come out in your favor if you're going to put yourself into the debt lottery on the blue button push. Like what's
Well, both blue
like
outcomes are in my favor, right? Like, from my position.
well, yeah, because you die in one of them, so what do you give a fuck? And then in the other, everybody lives. But like with the red button, it's just nothing happens. So
Yeah, but if you vote red and it's a blue world, you just lose morally, right?
well, what does it matter if you vote red and then it comes out blue at the end? Then it's fine. You protected yourself.
No, no, no,
Other
no, no,
people went
that's
in
not
and
fine to me anyways. Like, I have some more radical views. Like, me personally, if I could vote on a button to selectively kill who I wanted in the world, I'd press that button in a heartbeat. I think what I would do after the blue button
okay,
is have, like, a
but
more
irrelevant to this hypothetical,
okay.
right? Okay, so we're just to get back on the red. What do you feel happens when you push the red button?
You end up living.
Okay, anything beyond that?
Yeah, you have to, deal with the consequences of your vote.
No. Sorry. Direct outcomes from the pushing of the red button. What happens?
Depending on which
Wait,
world, right?
no,
Like,
no, no. It
if the
doesn't.
outcome
No,
of
no,
the red
no.
world,
It does exactly
red
what
button.
happens.
Oh, you
Like, there's
mean
only one
okay,
answer
when
to
you
this
first
question.
okay, yeah, when you press the red button, you've pressed the red button. Is that what you're referring
Okay,
to?
yeah. Nothing happens, right? We're acknowledging that. Absolutely nothing happens.
Oh,
Correct?
I don't agree with that. No.
Okay. Fine. Well, then we'll reframe it. We'll look at the blue button. From the moment you press the blue button, what happens?
Yeah, you either live or die.
Well, no, you've submitted yourself into. We're not even talking about the outcome, but you submit yourself to the potential that you might die, right? You're committing to that.
Well, it might well, okay, this also kind of depends of how you construct the hypothetical. So I think if you were here
Well,
earlier when
that's
I
why I
mentioned,
asked
like,
you. Okay, but that's why I asked you to
right,
outline all this
hold on
stuff at the beginning, right?
right? Because like like, if it's like a godly power implementing this hypothetical, right? I had described it as being teleported to a room in which you could not leave unless you like uh and time is stopped, right? I imagine like if you press the blue button and it was a red world, like the moment you left the room, you would
Okay.
just instantly
So
disappear into the dark.
how does this change the direct outcome of the button push? Can you explain that to me?
It makes death more tolerable.
I have no idea where you're going off with this. Okay, so we're going back to what happens when you push the blue button, right? So you push the blue button, you submit yourself to the potential that you might die in this, and then you're hoping essentially that enough people also engage with the blue button that you will survive and all of them will survive. However, if every single voter had pressed the red button, we're acknowledging that absolutely nothing happens. Like there's nobody being put in a situation there's nobody being forced into a situation where they might die, right? Everybody is in theory submitting to this of their own volition.
Yeah, but I thought you said earlier that like people were going to vote
Oh yeah,
irrationally, which
I,
it's never going to be the
well,
case that 100% of people are going to vote the blue
correct.
button.
But nobody pushes the button for them, right? Right. People are submitting in. If you want to make it, as I said, I think it's more interesting if we're talking about a group of rational actors that are, you know, consciously making this decision. But if you want to introduce, you know, the mentally impaired and then like babies into the conversation, sure, let's do it. But then what
I'm gonna
I'm still
wait,
going to
wait.
come back to is that look, like it's like how much more responsibility do you feel for?
I
Like,
don't want to
okay, go ahead.
I want to take the
Go ahead.
conversation in a new direction
One
instead
at
of
a time,
relating
yeah.
the point, because you were listening to Kenneth and I's conversation. Let's go
I
to a
wasn't
different
listening. I only
direction.
just joined in, but it's okay.
Oh, okay. My apologies then. Are you by any chance religious?
I'm a very bad
Okay.
Catholic. I literally don't believe in God, but
Okay.
I'm
You were
Irish, so
so like
what are
if
you
you
gonna
were
do?
like teleported in a room and like some esoteric knowledge was like um like communicated in your head, right? You did it could be on a note in your language, right? But the note like it communicates this hypothetical to you. Wouldn't you immediately be convinced that this is like an act of God? Doesn't
What,
have to be
like
like the
out?
God that you believe in, but it just has to be
What?
like
Yeah,
a
but wait.
godly act.
Sorry, excuse me. We're constructing a hypothetical. We can say that the
Yeah, it
fucking
could be the tooth
the
fairy.
tooth
You would
fairy
never
put me in
know.
that
Yes,
boot.
that's
Like
correct.
what? Like who cares? Like how is this relevant? Yeah. So who gives a fuck? Yeah. So
Because
who
you
gives
must
a shit? I'm not.
reconcile like the
Literally, I'm
logistical
so
reality
unconcerned
of
with
like
even
the
answering.
actual thing
This is
occurring, right?
just outside. Because what does it? No. Why would you even go there with this?
Because
This entire
listen, when
hypothetical
wait,
is
come on, there's an actual
no,
reason.
no, no. You're trying to test group responsibility. That's what people are trying to test in this in the most
I'm just
retarded
trying
way.
to like when
It's
you
like a
said
poorly constructed prisoner's dilemma. This I don't know why you're trying to take it off in this
because
direction. I think
kebabs
it's absolutely
earlier,
silly. Why
yeah,
would we
you
go
were
into we're going
Hey,
to
hey,
go in and
one at a
question a
time.
higher power in a fucking absolutely ridiculous.
because your concern seems to be, but like when you
How
actually like
can you
dig deep,
restate? Can you restate what my position is? Just let's go with that.
no, I wanted to drive it towards the religion point, right?
God, but
That's why I
there
asked.
is no religious
That's why
point.
I made
I made
the statement
I'm
of like,
I'm actually
can we drive it
I'm going
towards
to
a
I'm
different
going to tell
direction?
you right now. I'm not even going to engage with this. You can come off the religious point. There is no religious point in this conversation. It's a fucking
No, there
hypothetical.
absolutely is, right?
As,
Like a
there's
big aspect of
absolutely
the
nothing.
conversation is like determining like what proportion of the
According to
population
whom?
is going to vote blue. And you had started off the
But
initial
what? And
conversation by saying,
you think that's a
wait, wait,
religious
wait,
point? You
wait,
think that's a
Kebab,
religious point?
no, I'm just bringing. Listen, it's just an example, right? I can do this with. I can expound this to
Okay.
other subsets of
I
the
reject the
population.
example. I
I'm
don't
only
want it.
using religion because it's like it seems apt here for the hypothetical, and it's also like the largest representational like proportion of the population that like for people in the entire planet, right? It just seems like the largest shared human experience, and
It
like
just
many
seems
people,
like
and this like
yeah.
many people who are like
Go ahead.
religious, it seems to like deal directly with like their belief system. That's why. That's why. Like, so I feel like it might have an impact here.
Okay, right. Yeah, fine. Right. So you want to examine the impact that religion is having on the red and blue button pusher.
Yes,
That's an
yes, I think it has a large
that's
sway,
a
just
really
like how
I'll tell you
religion has
what,
a large sway in any
that's a
part of
really
our
interesting
society.
conversation to have with somebody else, right? I think
No,
it's
it's
utterly
part of
irrelevant to what we're
the.
talking about
Li-
here.
li-
I
Listen,
want to talk. You want to talk about the moral responsibility of
no,
the
no, there's no
essentially
morals
button
about it.
pusher.
No, 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 no. Listen,
Okay, okay.
I don't, I really don't care about the moral part. I'm just saying, like, from a real, like, statistical, like, thing. I think like this is something you really need to contend with. Like the reality is like 75 or like 80% of the
That's great.
population
Look,
is
okay, great.
religious, and like no matter how you frame this hypothetical, God comes into play. Right? Okay, wait,
I
listen.
mean,
This
I'm sorry.
hypothetical.
I'll tell you what.
Kebab.
It's
This
a hypothetical,
hypothetical
so we can
could be
decide how we
implemented by
construct it.
aliens,
We
right?
okay.
But given the hypothetical, we wouldn't know it was aliens. Everyone would intuitively
I
point to
just I look,
God or some
listen,
godly
buddy.
being. Okay,
One
that's what I'm
minute.
trying to get.
One minute.
Hypothesizing about the hypothetical seems like a complete waste of time to me. I mean, if you want to talk about the like
Think
the
like
direct
everyone on the
action that's
planet.
coming out, I don't
You
think
don't.
buddy. We can think whatever we like. It's a hypothetical. We can add or subtract anything that we like from it. But I'm telling you, I'm not seeing this religious part of the conversation with the majority of like people online. Most of the conversations that I've had about this haven't even really strayed into religion in like any
Yeah,
aspect.
maybe they're not
The most
thinking
that it
about it
might be
deep enough, right?
would
Listen,
people follow some.
again,
Oh
the
my
religious part
god.
isn't necessarily that important. I'm just trying to like extrapolate people's behaviors from like large identifiable proportions of the population, and religious people are a heavy
Do you
component of
do you
that. That's all.
do you feel
I could do the same thing
okay?
with like
Do you
if people who believe in aliens were like a large proportion of the population, I would bring them up, and the
okay?
people who believe in aliens
Fantastic.
might point to and say, "Oh shit,
Do
this
you
is
feel like most
aliens
people
committing
act
this."
on
Right?
their religious beliefs? Like, do you
All
think that
right.
most
That
Christians in
is
America
time.
act?
That is
Okay.
time. Thank you too for giving your arguments. We'll do one final poll. We have our two debaters ready to go. It's going to be starting in a few minutes, but yeah.
I'm so sorry, but that is actually just really annoying. I have no idea why we went off in this conversation about the religious impact here. Like where did that's the only thing I can.
I'm not sure. Okay, I mean, he did bring up in the earlier one about
it's just
about God and stuff, but yeah,
Yeah, but
not
he
entirely sure
didn't
how.
come in until right ahead of when he came up, so I see how that could be a pro or
We
con.
will be having our filibuster debate, so we'll be doing this one last poll inside chat to see who survives.
All right, the poll is
Oh gosh, go out,
up,
Berg.
friends.
I missed you so much. It's been so long.
Yeah, it has been. This debate, I haven't seen anything. By the way, I think the first time I saw this posted, I thought somebody was just butchering the prisoner's dilemma and then reposting it like it was something novel or whatever. But the entire conversation.
Me too. Like I was getting like. So yeah, I had that same vibe.
And are you guys hearing like a dip in the audio kind of sporadically throughout when people are speaking?
I'm not me, no.
Huh.
Strange.
Yeah, Discord fucking hates me today. I genuinely don't know what's up, but like
Oh, no.
literally you guys will like break out or like just go silent for a few seconds.
Oh no.
And then it just comes
They're
right
coming for
back
you.
up. So
Whoever's doing the red
Discord
button, blue
gods.
button, whoever it is, they're coming after
Bleep
us.
bloop. Bleep bloop.
They're trying to silence the conversation. Okay.
Exactly.
But yeah, next up we will have our filibuster debate. That'll be our tournament. What's it called? Tournament qualifier. So yeah.
Yeah, this is like a quarterfinal. So round 2 of our quarterfinals.
Apparently, I've heard the guy that's wrangling the two debaters, and apparently they are very amped and want to like tearing at each other's eyes. You know, it's fucking crazy back there.
We have polls. We're gonna poke you guys. Be good. You don't have to be nice, but be good.
All right. We can wrap up the vote there.
All right, let's get it. I see people
I
trying
don't
to
think
like.
people are voting with their heads. I'm declaring myself the people's champion. Okay, I'm voting for myself as well.
This is the people's vote. So unfortunately, the people have spoken.
It's not true.
And
Rigged.
Wendy has taken it with 12 votes to Kemba Berg's 5.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The blue one got more votes. Oh no! Shit.
Look, listen. I knew I was fighting out at the bottom here. I didn't want to talk about whether or not Jesus was the one enacting the hypothetical.
It's nothing but Christians out here, yo.
All right. Thank you, Kababberg, and the Wounded Deer for coming up.
Thank you very much.
Providing us a little entertainment.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah, thank you for coming up for providing us a little entertainment while we had to wait for our debater to get back from work. But yeah, now that's all out of the way, I guess we'll do one more plug to get registered to vote, and we'll bring up the two debaters.
And once again, congratulations to Space Chicken Monster on his wedding tomorrow.
Real shit. True.
Very happy for our.
There's a chance. Okay. You too.
Exactly.
You too could find happiness. Okay. One of us has done it. Okay. One of us. All right.
Well, I've been married for 11 years, so it is possible.
I feel like you're your own thing. Okay, like but you know, if you want to be one of, I'll say yeah, fuck it. You know, you're part of the DGG community too.
No, I know I'm not the like demographic of DGG though, so like I fully understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
All right. Who is the two debaters? We have.
It's just me and you, Anti. That's it. Aw, congrats, Wishcaster. And Wishcaster. And Kai.
And Wishcaster. Dang, okay. Dang, okay, never mind.
I'm talking about like the demographic thing, but yeah, Wishcaster's been married for 8 years. So again, it is possible, friends.
It is possible. Sorry, I'm just checking who the two debaters are.
Yeah.
It is. Thick and Costello. Thick boy and Costello. Raise your hands and we'll bring you up.
All right,
All right, there's Costello.
Thick's good. There we go.
Yeah. Hey.
Hello.
Thick boy 69. Awesome.
All right.
Hi,
Oh my gosh, Costello. Costello has an outfit on. Costello's going for the outfit points, apparently.
Right,
This
style
is the white
points.
t-shirt I sleep in.
Bro, real shit.
Nice. What? My God.
All right. We'll be doing this debate is over getting rid of the filibuster. We'll be doing 2-minute opening statements for both debaters. Costello or Thick Boy, either of you have a preference for going first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Sorry, who was that again? I wasn't looking.
Me, that's Costello.
Okay, Costello.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second. Let me get some water.
I mean, you got.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
You
Would
just
a
like
debater have to? Yeah.
came in
get your
from
water?
work and hopped
Yeah.
in. Like, please take a
He
second.
was speeding. He was like going 90 and like a 15. He might have hit some kids. We don't know. Okay, but
Right?
this
He
man
got pulled
did
over.
everything he could.
He was like, "Sir, I need to get home. I have a debate to attend." And the cop was like, "Yeah, please."
They're talking about the red button, blue button. Okay, I need to end it. I need it now. Okay, if this goes on any longer, there's gonna be
Right?
riots in the streets. It's like Philadelphia.
Right.
If they win or lose, like it doesn't matter. It's just
chaos, calamity. Exactly. Oh my
real
gosh,
shit.
Costello, how are you doing?
All right, I'm all good.
Good. We had Costello in a
Doing so good.
non-tournament debate recently, so
Yeah.
we're excited to see your performance this time around.
Hell yeah.
Good luck to everyone involved.
Oh yeah.
All right. And to clarify, Thick is against the filibuster being eliminated, and Costello is for. Is that correct, you two?
No, I'm for eliminating the filibuster.
Oh, sorry. Costello is
Yeah.
for eliminating.
Out of here.
And Thick is against it being eliminated. Okay.
Yeah.
Costello, you said you'd be ready to go first. We got 2 minutes
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
ready.
clock.
I'm ready.
Time starts now.
Hit me. Yeah, you know, the filibuster is one of those things that's kind of hard to understand. I know these anchors throw it back and forth. First of all, thank you for having me here. DGG is awesome. The filibuster is complicated insofar as what it really boils down to is just the minority party having veto power in the Senate specifically. And what I would argue is that the House runs really efficiently because of the 51% majority to pass legislation. The House has been stalling, it's been non-functional for a while. I don't think the framers had this in mind. I think the filibuster has been this quirk of the legal system that has been used by the minority power to essentially veto anything and everything. In practice, it resolves from a 51% vote to pass legislation, which is what you need in the Senate. Filibuster effectively raises that to 60%. So eliminating the filibuster here, in practice, I think it gives majority rule more. First of all, it gives majority rule more ease to operate, given that they've been voted in. In order to get a law even in to the Senate, it has to go through committee, it has to go through review, it has to be written, and then after it passes Congress
30 seconds.
Senate.
30 seconds.
And then after it passes Congress, it has to be voted on by the president. So we do have lots of guardrails here. And right now, the U.S. is in a very prescient spot. And our part of the reason why I think we have such bipartisan divide, honestly, is the fact that minorities have veto power in the Senate. So from 60% down to 51%, give majority power again. I think that's democratic accountability.
That is time.
Ultimately, in pure sense.
Thank you, Costello. We'll be going over to Thick Boy. You ready?
1 second. Let me set up my timer on my screen. Actually, I'm gonna rely on yours. My phone's dead.
All right. All right. Your 2 minutes starts now.
So Costello never actually gives us a reason why the filibuster's bad in that 2-minute speech. He just kind of rambled and doesn't give a statement of what harms the filibuster's creating or what kind of benefits we could expect from getting rid of them. He just says, if we get rid of the filibuster, the majority will have more power. This is obviously true. He then says that, it will lead to less partisanship. But he points out the House passes laws all the time. Is the House of Representatives less partisan? No, in fact, it's the most partisan institution in the government. There's 3 big reasons to keep the filibuster. The first is the enormous polarization that he points to that is happening in America. It's not caused by the Senate. It's caused by much deeper problems, the emergence of social media, AI, partisan levels on a local level. For the first time ever, a majority of both parties say the other side, the other party is a threat to the country. Secondly, voters themselves are becoming more partisan. We are seeing, for the first time ever, split ticket voting went from 25% in the 1990s to about 5% today. That's what our president would describe as a 500% decrease. There are only 3 states with senators from both parties, the lowest in over 100 years. Politics in America is quickly diverging into something that's fucking nuts. And if you unleash the legislation machine, you are going to get the legislation that a bunch of crazy people in our politics are bound to create.
30 seconds.
The second is that we are on the verge of a Republican majority. The Republicans are about to make huge gains in the 2030 census. About 4 in 10 Congress people are going to be from the South. And thanks to the Supreme Court, none of them are going to be black people. And then the third is that no matter what laws we pass, the economy relies on a stable legal framework. People, when they make investments, they expect the laws to continue. If all of the entire laws that America has passed become up for grabs every 2 years,
That
investment
is
goes
time.
crazy.
Thank you, Thick Boy, for that 2-minute intro. We'll be moving on to the 35-minute open part of this discussion. As a reminder, this is a tournament. It's a single elimination. So the voters, we have a few judges, and then we'll have a chat vote as well. So you can determine who goes on further than this. But our 35 minutes starts now.
Hey, so you said, I appreciate that response. You said that I didn't give any reasons to eliminate the filibuster. And the biggest reason why I want to eliminate the filibuster is to reduce legislative friction. And I think friction is a component of why our government isn't functioning well.
We're
Right,
not
so
functioning
other than,
well.
like,
Our
I think
voters
you
are
said-
crazier than our politicians. You understand that, right? It isn't the
Yeah, but-
senators who are partisan. The senators are the least partisan people in America. They're the only people who actually talk with people of the other party. The House is completely partisanly divided. Voters hate each other. The idea that, like, oh, we need more legislation. We need all these crazy people who are addicted to their phones on AI, like spreading conspiracy theories. What we need is for them to have more laws passed, and that, like, for senators to now look more like House members. The House of Representatives is a bunch of monkeys.
Okay. Dude, this is what I'm saying, right? Just respond to this point, right? The minority senators use the filibuster to veto majority rule. Can we agree on or to
Yes.
veto? Yeah, to veto. Okay, right. And you're saying that's
pluralism.
a good idea. What do you mean by that?
That's
What do you mean by
the fact that we are in a majoritarian state, that power in America is split among 50 states. Those 50 states elect 2 senators each to the Senate.
Right.
And if that
So
Senate
why wouldn't
needs,
so why
there needs to be a
wouldn't the majority
consensus
rule?
for a
Right.
law
So
greater
why
than
would-
just the
One
nice
at a time.
50
One at a
majority.
time, yes.
No, so you said it very clear. Why wouldn't the majority rule the Senate like the House? So the House obviously is majority rule. Why shouldn't the Senate be? When I'm saying if
Because
it's
then
not
you would have
majority rule,
concentration of power. You would have laws
in what way
changing
do you have
every
concentration
2
of
years.
power?
You would have.
Hold on. let's say more, but in what way would you have
Well, because
concentration
the
of
majority
power,
party could now
right?
pass
We have
laws.
our
They could pass
legit,
laws like the
right?
Anti-Voting
That's
Rights
how
Act.
government.
They could
No,
pass
that's how
laws.
the
They could
government
pass the
works.
security law due to the rising. They could pass the Charlie Kirk security
That's how
law that
democracy.
prevents Democrats
Right.
from owning
No, but
guns.
that's
Like,
how our
there's so many
government
ways that a
otherwise
majority
works.
party could disenfranchise the other party when it's in power.
Listen, that's how government normally works. That's how it
Oh, but
otherwise
that would
normally
fuck
works.
us.
That's
Yeah, that would fuck us.
the
If
Senate.
you're saying government working means we are all less well off, I'd say you should
No,
lose the debate.
I'm talking about, okay, just really simple, the democratic accountability of having a majority Senate decide, and it's not even deciding
What
what laws
accountability?
get. th-
How
When I
many?
say
What percentage
democratic
of the population
accountability,
do you need to
I'm
get
talking
50?
about voter accountability, right? So this is what will
For,
happen. This is what I think will happen, right? If you get rid of the filibuster, right? I think it makes the Senate one more effective. It makes the Senate able to move quicker. It does give the majority more power, but that's the point, right? That's the accountability of
the
democracy.
majority, what majority?
The majority of senators, right? So this is the
Okay, and
filibuster.
who does that
The,
majority of senators represent? Do they represent the majority of Americans?
they so the Senate and the House aren't the same for this reason. So this is why the House is
Yeah.
no, I mean this is precisely why we can get rid of the filibuster, because the House is fundamental, or the Senate is fundamentally different from the House, and the Senate has its own structure for what legislation it passes, and the jurisprudence is different. It's intended from a frame or
What are you
basis to
saying?
be slow. Well, let me get it out,
Like,
right?
yeah,
So,
the Senate is
right,
slow. The Senate represents
yeah.
the Senate represents
It's not that it
rural
represents
states,
rural.
smaller
It's
rural
that
states. Okay.
it's
You want to give that institution more power. You want that institution that the majority of Americans are
I
not
want to
bought
give it
into.
the
If the majority of
power that
Americans
it
disapproved of what the
deserves.
Senate was doing, they would have no ability to change that, because the Senate, with only like what 20% of the vote, can have a supermajority.
No, but that's
And
the
you're
point.
saying
That's
what?
no. We have a House.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
a
And when
we
you
have a
have a
House for
Senate,
budget legislation, and we have a Senate for federal high
yeah,
impact
and that
legislation,
house can be
right?
gerrymandered to infinity.
And
The
so
house can be gerrymandered to infinity, which it is being. Okay. So the house
that's
can
why.
be consolidated. The Senate inherently advantages smaller rural states that can, it doesn't matter. You can have 70% of America disagree with what the Senate's doing.
Yes,
If
it
those
does.
senators are in the right states, there's not shit you can do about it. And to
No,
say that,
no,
like, oh, now we're going to get rid of the veto of the majority, because it's actually the filibuster is not the minority veto, it's the majority veto.
no, it
It's when
isn't.
the
No, it's
majority of
not.
the
Okay,
country is
right.
out of
So
power in the Senate, which is more likely than not,
I
right?
figured this was going to happen, right? A lot of people don't fully understand what the filibuster is. It sounds like you don't. You made a crucial misunderstanding, right? So the
You just
filibuster
use the word
gives.
jurisprudence and you don't know what that word means, dude. Do not
What,
imply I don't know what the filibuster is.
well, correct me if I'm wrong here, then, bud. The filibuster gives the minority party veto power in the Senate. It prevents
Which
bills
represents
from
that
being
minority
voted.
party is more likely than not to represent the majority of Americans. You understand that,
But
right?
that's not the no. But that's not the purpose of the Senate, right?
No. Admit that at any
Right.
given point, the majority of Americans is more likely than not to be represented by the minority in the Senate. Does that
That's on
sentence make
purpose.
sense? Is that
No, that's
parsed?
on purpose. That's on purpose. Just like the
Okay,
electoral
that's on purpose.
college.
Sure. Yeah, the
No,
filibuster is
no.
also on
So
purpose.
that representation is important. You keep like just saying a bunch of words and not
Okay,
really
but
hitting at.
you call it the
Okay.
minority veto. I say it's
So
the majority veto. It's the way for the majority of Americans to stop the Senate, which is controlled by the minority of people. The minority of people elect the majority of senators. We agree with that, right?
the Senate is dysfunctional
Oh, okay. If the
today.
Senate's dysfunctional, you should want the filibuster. You
Yeah.
should want the Senate
No.
to be
No. So
harder
look.
for the Senate to do
So
things.
look. Here's
If you
another
hate
point
the
that
Senate,
I want
you
to. Okay,
should
that's
vote
fine.
con,
Let
because
me get to
the
another point.
filibuster
Right.
is what makes the
Let me
Senate
get to
more
another point.
powerful, less powerful.
Can I get to another point? Okay. So you think that given minority veto power because it disproportionately protects the voters, because two senators come from each state, and New York and California have a bunch of people. It's way more complicated than that, right? When I
Yes.
say dysfunctional, I think we should break that down, because that dysfunction, I think, is the cause for the rot that you see, right? Like
That's
the
not
reason.
true.
Yeah, so So
No, it works its way up. It is the
let me
partisan
get it out
brain
though.
rot of Americans that is working its way into senators. It is
No, let me get this
idiotic
out.
Americans primarying
I think,
bipartisan senators to get
dude,
their
come on.
hacks into
You're
office.
killing me.
That
Let me
is the
get this out.
it is bottom
Right?
up. The idea that you can simply pass the laws that make Americans like
No,
nice to each other is
no, so
insane. The idea
so
that
I'll tell
senators
you
and
what it looks
politicians
like. Let
are
me
a
explain it.
problem is also
So
insane.
this is what the filibuster brings. It brings like senators not having to take accountability for their votes or their voting record or their progress or their actual actual progress. They're blaming each other, right? No bills are getting passed,
That's
right?
not true. In fact, every
And
Senate
we are
bill
voting.
has to have bipartisan. The reason you have the McCain-Feingold Act and not the Feingold-Feingold Act is because laws need bipartisanship. So when laws do pass, they have consensus, and if the president doesn't veto them, they can't be vetoed again. Okay, so the president, Donald Trump, could not veto the Civil Rights Act, right? Because it's already been passed. But if this filibuster didn't exist, the Republicans could veto every pre-existing law as possible when they get into power, which, as I said in my statement, they're more likely than ever to be into power. The next 10 years are going to be nearly one-party rule, and you are
Dude,
saying give that
you're
one
just
party the
rambling.
most
You're just
power that
going.
any political party in
Can you
America has
respond to me
ever had.
Look, this is what's happening. You have look, it's like I knew you were gonna make this more complicated than it is, right? It's not that complicated, right? All the filibuster does is take the effective vote to pass a bill in the Senate from 51% to 60%. That's what we're talking about here, right? And so
Yeah.
all I'm advocating,
That's the difference between a law existing or not
stop,
existing.
dude. But look, all I'm advocating for is that we have a government today that is moving entirely too slow for the future.
That's not
And
true.
I know. Let me tell you, the interruptions are super distracting, bro. I
I could
don't
just
know
let
if
you
that's a
talk for the next
tactic.
25 minutes. You'd probably still
Nah,
lose.
dude, let me go for like 60 seconds without you completely derailing me. Because
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten to the biggest point, right? Like I think
Okay.
the
Yeah.
biggest
Go for 60 seconds. Go for it.
the largest point when it comes to us moving slow today is where the world is technologically, right? And specifically, I'm talking about what's going to happen with AI and computer chips and how that's going to affect the economy. And it's a big deal. We're in this sort of like arms race with China when it comes to tech because we can't lose militarily at any point. Otherwise, we give up this beautiful place. Number one, being able to essentially define worldwide culture and bend it to our will. As an American, I want the American government, I want the USA to maintain its state, its hegemony
Is
in
that what we're going to do?
finance
Is
and
that the filibuster
culture.
goes
Yeah,
away and we beat China? Is that what you think happens?
yeah,
You think
yeah.
oh,
So
the
I think that
filibuster is why we haven't, as a society, figure out how we're going to deal with AI and
yeah.
misinformation and conspiracy theories and how fucking nuts we are about
No,
politics.
I
You
think
think
we're
it's the
gonna need to.
filibuster doing that, and not the fact that the filibuster is the reason we haven't had the fucking Pizzagate law enacted. Like the filibuster is the
Let's
reason that when we passed the CHIPS Act, it's a nonpartisan bill. It's a bill that everybody agrees on, and it's a bill that didn't get removed as soon as the next administration happens. The filibuster is the reason that Senate elections are not viewed as literally life or death for political parties. When
No,
you
they
say
should.
now
That's my
actually
point.
51
That's
votes
part
in
of
the
my account. That's part
Senate
of the
means you get to
accountability,
do
right?
whatever the fuck you want. It means,
No, you
and
don't.
at the point where most Americans hate the other side more than ever, you're just putting a gun on the table between two people and saying, I bet they don't do it. I bet
No,
they use that
you're
gun to solve
oversimplifying it.
AI. They're
No,
going to
you're
use the
oversimplifying
gun
it.
we gave them to fix the future.
It's not a
No, it's going
gun.
to make our lives hell.
It's not a
It's going to be
gun.
laws change every 2 years. It's going to mean investment goes down. So there's more unemployment, which just feeds into this bullshit even more. And it means that one party gets to pass, the Charlie Kirk Act, the fucking like no more like Democrats Act, like anything. And then the next party gets to get rid of them and do their own versions. Do you not see that happening
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all?
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
think,
yeah. Yeah.
oh, the
So
filibuster is why we haven't
I
solved
love this.
AI, why we
No,
haven't
no, no.
solved
This
China?
is you spent like that whole time to what I think to bring up what I think should be your biggest like argument against what I'm saying is you're gonna say, Brandon, how do we solve this like TikToking problem of legislation being passed one way and another party gets into power and it being passed another way. You know what? I think that gets solved when we get fucked by it. Like, excuse my language.
Oh,
And
okay.
this is part of the
You just let us
accountability.
get fucked.
No, but this
Just let us get fucked,
no,
everyone.
no.
Vote pro
This is-
and get fucked.
saying-
Vote pro
I'm
to get
saying-
fucked.
I'm saying
Easy.
the Senate race. No. I'm saying the Senate race will become more valuable, right? Senators will have a little more power, right? We still all vote for them the same.
Senators
right? And
will have
so-
less power. Senators will literally just become partisan mouthpieces. They're just
No,
like cogs
your
in a machine.
senator will be more important.
House of Representatives
Right, I
are
don't
literally
think-
drones. House
This
of
is what I think will happen.
House reps are nobodies. Senators, because they actually have to communicate with each other and pass things with the 60 votes, actually have like politics. They aren't just generic partisan blobs like you would turn them into. If it's just 51 votes means you get all the laws you want, well, you just need a partisan hack in there.
No,
you
you
don't
don't
need
get all
to
the laws you
build
want, right? So-
relationships across parties, or like the fact that like Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer have lunch together. How often do you think Mike Johnson and Hakeem Jeffries talk?
It's all because of the
Never.
filibuster.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
filibuster
so-
is why the
so-
Senate
no,
has
look,
to have
this
some
is-
cohesion and isn't just a fucking rubber stamp for whatever party controls it.
Yeah. So this is the House's take on the filibuster, right? This is the House's take. This is what we've been using it for the last 100 years or whatever, right? I'm saying that today is different, and I think you feel that, right? You feel that this
I don't know what
moment
you're
is a
talking
moment.
about.
Well, so Trump being elected, I think I don't like. I feel like I'm living in a simulation when I think about that thought. Well, he was elected twice, all right? We are in a strange moment in history, and I
So
think
let
the
him pass
United-
laws? Let Trump pass whatever laws he wants then? Is that the solution?
No, Trump doesn't get to
No?
pass laws. No, there's a
Oh,
chain. No,
okay.
there's a long
So when-
legislative
so when
chain of
the Republican
passing
Party
laws,
now
right?
only needs 50 votes, in the Senate. You don't think Trump passes more laws?
I think that with the filibuster removed and the Senate getting their power back, really, right? Like, so senators matter because their vote matters now. I think we spend.
No, their vote doesn't matter anymore.
I think
Susan
we
Collins
elect
doesn't
better-
matter. Susan Collins doesn't matter in a world without the filibuster. Lisa Murkowski doesn't matter in a world without a filibuster. Tom Tillis doesn't matter in a world without a filibuster. Without a filibuster, you need 50 goons that you put in there with billions of dollars in campaign spending just to get some hack that you primary just because you want the slimiest, creepiest fuck in there who will do
why do you
whatever
think
whatever
why
you
do you think it
say.
hurt?
You just need 50 of those and you get whatever you want.
But you don't get whatever you want, dude. Right? So
Sure you do.
So I'm advocating. So this is my point, right? Is do you think the Senate moves too slowly? Like, do you think the Senate is
No.
effective? And
I think
and you
Americans
don't
are
think-
crazy. And if Americans got the
What do you mean
laws
by
they
that?
wanted, we would
What do you
live in
mean by
hell.
that? What?
I think
No,
Americans are
what do you mean by
incredibly
that?
polarized more than ever before. They no longer consider like each party. Like Americans used to, oh, I'll vote for Republican president, Democrat senator. I like him. I like what he did with my state. Now it's I watch Fox News. I vote Republican because obviously we want the Republicans to win. Now I'm a libtard and I'm on Blue Sky and I want whatever Democrats. And like I
Well, so
believe in
look, in
conspiracy
that-
theories that Charlie
in
Kirk was
that-
killed by Israel or whatever.
In that response is this anti-democratic accountability that I hate. That I think
You hate anti-democratic
necessary.
accountability?
Yeah. So
Well, why
you
should the
you said
Senate,
said
the least
Americans
democratic institution in
hold on,
America,
you said Americans
get unlimited
you said
laws?
Americans are crazy and they are going to vote for crazy laws and the senators are there to keep the Americans in check. That's my point. This is what I hate, right?
It's so that
I want to
the
vote
poli-
I want
the
you to
party
vote
in
for
power,
a senator. I want you to vote for a senator who claims he's going to put a bill on the floor and vote for it. And I want that to happen sometimes. And I think we need that today because China, as an authoritarian ruled country, is moving at the speed of light. And I get it. Like, it's like the speed versus like balance and stability thing, right? I'm advocating that we loosen the balance and stability and give a little more speed,
Okay.
right? Because we're going to need that
it's not
momentum
going to
for the
happen.
future.
We're not going to get rid of the filibuster and take on China in a responsible way. The
not
Republican
what the
Party is going to
argument
do
is.
everything it can
No,
to
that's
keep
not
the
what the
Democrats from
argument
getting power. And when the Democrats get power, they're going to do everything
Respond
they
to
can
what
to
I
keep the
said.
Republicans from getting power. If China
Respond to what I
had a polarized political environment like we do, we would not be like congratulating them on their ability to pass and remove whatever laws they want. We would see that as a deadly flaw. And if European countries were as politically polarized as we are, they would see a lot more harms happening from their parliamentary systems that don't have these kinds of checks. So let me just like reiterate again, you understand that the majority of Americans at any given time is more likely to be represented by the minority in the Senate, right?
Yes, on purpose.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
why
So
the
when
House
you
is
say,
different.
so you're
That's why we have
advocating
two
that the
bodies that work
majority of
differently then.
Americans lose their veto power in the Senate.
No, dude, you keep on. So I thought I broke it down really, really simply, right? I'm talking about
Too simply.
America's. No, I'll repeat it. Right, look,
You just like assert
I
like
can
we
repeat
need
it
the filibuster to
because
take
it's
on
simple. No,
China because China
no.
does things, so we
I
should do
like
things.
use my hands.
China does
to, like,
things
talk
because
about,
they have a plan and they have a structure in place.
So
Our system,
okay,
if you get
I'll
rid of the
repeat it.
filibuster,
I'll
is
repeat it.
built
Let me
to collapse.
Give me 30 seconds again, right? So I even use my hands, right? Like the difference, like I'm saying we're in an arms race with China. I'm saying it's existential, right? So you
Yeah,
agree to that? You okay?
And we are
Great.
passing laws on that, right? You agree with that?
Great. No,
We did
we're
pass
not.
laws.
I think this is why Trump got elected.
Yes, we did. We
Right?
passed the
Because
CHIPS
no,
Act.
this is where you're already losing. Like this misunderstanding is why the Democrats are already losing. Right? The reason why Trump got elected was in large part because Silicon Valley doubled down on Trump because Trump was the only president who had this concept of that we need to move quickly because China is moving at the speed of light because of the government. Like it really is an existential threat. ChatGPT
China's
is
an existential threat to us.
100%.
I think we are more likely to be screwed over by the other political party.
Right, so,
I think it is more likely that a political party in America will seek to consolidate power than it is that China kills us all. What do you mean existential threat? What do you think is going to happen to China? The Republicans aren't going to let. There's no more black House representatives in Tennessee or fucking Florida or Georgia or Alabama or Louisiana anymore. The Republican Party said we want to hold power forever, so we're getting rid of those. The Senate is for the rest of our lives. At any given point, the Senate is probably going to be Republican. We agree with that. Okay.
Why? What do you mean? Why?
Why? Because the Republicans represent smaller rural states that get overrepresentation in the Senate. You already agreed that the majority of Americans are.
I didn't say they got overrepresentation
in the minority in the Senate. You agreed that the majority of Americans at any given point are more likely than not to be in the Senate minority, right?
Demographically, yeah.
Okay.
No, but that's the point, right? That's the pluralism that you're talking about. That's the point. You keep bringing that up, right? This is what I'm saying. I'm saying
part of that. Again,
I'm gonna keep repeating it because you're not.
Let him get in for a second. Go for it. It's all.
Yeah, dude. Like my big point is yeah. So I think the crux of your misunderstanding is you not understanding like the moment that this is. And I'm talking. Yeah, you know what? I'm talking about AI honestly, and all the after effects and all the downstream effects of that. Ultimately, the U.S. cannot lose this arms race under any circumstance. I get that, like the United States, we're still in our civil rights.
How does the filibuster win the arms race?
We're still in the late end of our civil rights era, and I know that's like super captivating.
What does that mean? Our civil rights era?
Yeah, like black people are still fighting for civil rights. You brought it up in the South and Tennessee, right?
I'm in my day drink era. I don't know what that means.
That's what you said, I thought, but like I understand that there's this class war that's intertwined with race war, and then you throw like partisanship on top of it.
What are the odds we pass good laws by getting rid of the filibuster?
Listen, I'm talking about the state of our union, right? The state of our country as a whole, right? Like our plot on the planet, right? And I'm saying reducing the effective vote from 60% to 51% will allow us to move faster with our laws.
What end? Are we heading in a good direction?
Hold on. You said like a bunch of the downstream effects were going to be bad because the majority rule do not like the majority of senators does not represent demographically the state of the country, and that's the point. It's pluralistic. We have that for a reason. The House is demographically elected, right? We have that for a reason. They control a different set of legislation. That's right.
What
Again,
is
really
the
simple.
point? Can you just
Really
get to the
simple.
point? Like, what?
Dude,
Why do you
I keep
think
repeating
getting
the
rid of the
point.
filibuster in this political environment, where Americans hate each other more than ever, where both parties
No.
are gunning towards consolidating power, why do you think getting rid of the filibuster means we should all bet that means good
Okay.
laws get passed?
Okay.
Why should I not be
So
worried?
you're hearing me say,
Costello, why should I not be worried? It means bad laws get passed.
yeah, okay. So you're hearing me say that I should take the filibuster away so the Republicans can have all this power,
No,
right?
you're just
That's not what I'm
ignoring it. You're
saying.
saying everybody will agree with me. We'll wear like silly little glasses and we'll take on China because we need to kill China.
No,
That's not going to happen, bud.
You're not responding to the 60% effective vote down to the 51%, which is really the core. Like,
What?
that's what the filibuster is.
Yeah, that is it means the Senate can either, when the Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency, does that mean they can change every law in America right now?
No, it just means
Does it mean in your world
it
could
just
they?
means they need
Costello.
60% of the dude.
It means if
look it
they
up
control
again.
the
It
Senate,
just
House,
means-
and presidency, which they are more likely to do at any given point than Democrats, especially in the next 10 years, they can
Dude,
change
they
every
can
law
do
in
that
America,
with the
right?
No, but they can, no. Dude,
They
you're
don't have
oversimplifying-
60 votes. 60 votes is
Can I
less
explain
likely.
this
It
to
is
people
less
that are
likely
listening?
to have a 60-vote
Because you don't
majority
seem
than
to
a
understand
50-vote majority,
Dude,
right?
Can I explain this to the people who are listening? All the filibuster effectively turns the Senate is into a 60%
Everybody
majority to
understands
pass legislation.
everybody listening
So the
understands
majority
that filibuster
already has
means
the
you
power
get
to
60 votes, and in your world you
Right.
need 50 votes. Everybody
Okay.
understands this.
So the majority already gets to have final legislative voting power already, just with 60%.
When was the last 60-vote Senate majority? How likely is that? Let's deal with probabilities,
my
because
point. That's my point.
you're just asserting like
That's my
insane
point.
unlikely things.
No,
Yeah.
that's
It
my
is
point.
unlikely.
Because you need
It is unlikely
60%
for a
of
single
senators.
political party to gain the ability to change every law in America right now.
They
In
don't get to change.
Costello's
First of all,
world, that
no,
is a
dude.
guarantee. It is actually
No, dude.
guaranteed
The balance
that
of
any
power
party
is-
that controls the
No, it's
Senate,
not.
House, and presidency can change every law in America. That's guaranteed,
not.
right? How's it
No,
not
it's
guaranteed?
not.
How is that not guaranteed? Show
Well-
me you understand English. Show the
No.
audience you understand English. Tell me how that is not guaranteed that they have that ability.
There's another branch of government.
If they control the House, the Senate, and the presidency, how does that mean they don't have the
There's another
ability
branch
to
of government?
change every law in America?
There's another governing body that's next to them that works in the same building called the House. Like, what are you talking about? You're completely
You just show he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand words, guys. What am I supposed to do
No,
up here?
you
Who in the
understand how
audience would
laws
like
are
to trade
passed.
places? Who's jealous of me having to deal with this person right now?
Dude, that is a terrible debate tactic. Dude, just try to stay with me here for a second, right? So 60%, I think by your admission, sort of means that bills don't get passed in the Senate. That is my point. That's the simple argument. So
I'm
I
fine
want
with
more
that.
bills to I want more bills to be passed
No.
because we need to move faster as a civilization because we're in a technological arms race. That's the simple argument.
You cannot
What's the response?
at all make an argument for why you think those bills that will get passed will be good. You haven't asserted at all
No,
why you
I
think
don't- no, I
we
didn't
are
say that they're
poised
gonna be
with the
good.
removal of the Senate to pass good laws. All
No, I
you're
didn't say they were
arguing
gonna be
is we
good.
will pass more laws, and I give
Yes.
3 reasons why more
saying
laws
we
would
need
be
to-
bad. One,
I'm
we're more
saying we need to
polarized
move
than ever,
faster.
so those laws are going to be tainted by that polarization. 2, one party is going to have control over the Senate, House, and presidency more than another party. And 3, when laws are changing all the time, investors are going to say, like, fuck this shit. I don't know what the rules about coal usage are going to be in 3 years.
You know, I'm inclined to insult you too because I'm not, but I reiterated I've tried to dumb down my argument as far as I possibly can. I feel like you're not touching it.
You went too far.
You're not touching it here, right? Like, of course, the laws aren't good. Like, I don't know what legislation is going to be good or bad. I just want the
Okay.
Senate. I want the majority rule.
More laws.
I want majority. So look, the Senate is already majority rule, right? You know that. It just on but there's a
majority,
filibuster.
minority, though. It's the
No, no, no.
minority of the country that elects the majority of the Senate.
No,
Same with the
you
House.
brought up pluralism, man.
No, it
What
is
are
the
you talking
minority of the
about?
country that elects the majority of the Senate. It is the minority of the country that elects the president. It is the minority
Right,
of the
and
country
that's
that elects
normal,
the
that's
House.
okay. We do that
Okay,
for a
and you're
reason.
saying that minority that is better poised to gain control of all three branches
Wait,
of government,
okay,
or
let
two
me get this out.
branches
You're
of
saying that the
government.
Senate should not be pluralistic and that we should
No,
like
I'm
the
saying
House.
the filibuster is
What?
a good way from keeping the filibuster is a good way from keeping the party in power from passing and changing every law in the country, from using
Okay,
that
you're
power
oversimplifying.
to
That's not how it
shut
works.
out
In
the
order
other
to pass a
party, to
law,
control elections,
you
to
have to
pass
propose it.
the
It goes
Pizzagate
to a
Act.
committee, right?
And
It goes,
they can get also,
it gets
without the
voted in
filibuster, they
committee.
could change the
Most
committee
laws
rules.
don't make it. Most laws don't make it out of the committee room, dude. You know this. In order to get it to where it's filibusterable, you already have a considerable
Well,
amount of support for it.
if there wasn't a
Any
filibuster,
talk
they
on
would
this,
pass
any
committee
talk on
much
this
more
technological
easily.
arms race that we're, hey,
That's why the
did you know
House
that we're,
passes so many laws saying that, like condemning Disney or whatever
hey,
for being woke,
hey,
is because the House can do
big
whatever
boy,
it wants. It can pass committee easily because it
big
doesn't
boy.
need to worry about the
Did you know that we're in a
filibuster.
technological arms race?
I don't give a shit. We're going to
Okay,
lose
so
because
this
I
is the
don't give a
difference.
shit. I'm
This
not.
is
I don't buy into your
you
hysteria.
gotta
Like,
understand
why is
this
this
part.
why is this guy with the heart glasses like a China hawk telling me I have to die to fight China? Like, what is going on here?
So, I can explain it to you, right? So China is gonna go to war with Taiwan for computer chips, and they need to
Yes. So all
they need to
fucking
do that. They need to do that because their long-term strategy, China's long-term strategy, is an AI play. They think, like the people in Silicon Valley think, that this tool is going to be the greatest tool man has ever seen, and that once it gets to a point where it can program and do research on itself, you will have an intelligence explosion. Now, this is a big deal because first person that gets the intelligence explosion controls the global
we have
waterways, the
exactly. I
global
have to give up all
culture,
my
they
rights. I have to
control
give my
global
government over to the
military. Come on,
Republicans so we can build the AI
this is
demon first.
important.
We have to
Right?
build the AI that kills us
60%,
before China builds the AI that kills
dude,
us. I've heard this
60% to
before.
51% is not
I
even that
follow
big of a
Sam
deal.
Altman on Twitter. Okay, this is not an argument that, there's no reason to think probabilistically that if we get rid of the filibuster, we take on AI. In fact, with the
Of course,
filibuster, we
dude,
were able to come
that's the
together and
core
put forward
argument.
a plan to make
That's exactly
America
the core
a
argument. No,
leader
here's
in
why.
chip
Look, okay,
manufacturing.
look, really quick, like 5 minutes. Here's what's gonna happen in the next 5 to 10 years, right? A bunch of people are gonna get really rich, trillionaires, billionaires, and a bunch of people are gonna get a lot poorer, right? Poverty will increase in this country in the next 5 years. The government is gonna need to come in and control this fucking free market, guys. The government is gonna need to come in and save this country from destroying itself. As we're participating in this arms race against China, we are gonna have to have really, really big strategic, economic, fiscal, right? Law, like everything's gonna change, right?
You're
Biology,
just
we're gonna
advocating that we all
5 minutes?
volunteer to
5
be
no
minutes.
raped
for that.
by the
No,
government.
so for that reason, no. For the fact that the future is really volatile and really, really scary, I'm saying that we take this effective 60% vote, make it majority rule like it is
Let
in
it
the
rip.
House, right? This is
Let it
yeah,
rip.
yeah. Let it rip because
And
if
then
we
what
don't
happens?
let
We
it,
pass. What's
if we don't let it rip,
okay? You would have an argument if there was a really important AI law that you could articulate why this AI law was so important, and that AI
yeah.
law was being upheld by the minority in the Senate. That doesn't exist. You are yapping. You don't know what the
What?
fuck you're talking about. You can't explain to us why giving the Republicans all the power to change
No,
every
not
law means we
Republicans.
defeat China
No, I think the
or build
Democrats are
the
gonna
AI
do this.
super demon first.
No, listen. How about this? How about this? I think the Democrats are gonna be the ones to implement these crazy
Oh, how do we
fiscal
get the Senate?
economic decisions.
Oh,
And
you think
you're
so?
gonna
You think so?
bro,
I feel like I
no,
made arguments saying that's
no,
unlikely, and you
no,
didn't have a
dude.
response.
I'm talking about shit like universal basic income, right? I'm talking about taxing these
You
trillionaires, bro.
passed the good
Listen,
laws.
listen,
You
be
get rid of
quiet,
the
listen.
filibuster, and the
You're
Republicans would
gonna,
just let
bro,
the Democrats take over and pass
listen,
the
you're gonna
universal basic
need,
income for
dude,
AI for our AI girlfriends.
you're gonna need this filibuster fucking gone to get UBI. Otherwise, this country explodes. And the Democrats are gonna do that. All right, I'm not talking about.
You're
This
gonna
is
wish
not
the
a partisan
filibuster was here
argument.
when, like I said, you get
I'm not
arrested under
making
the
a
Charlie
partisan
Kirk Act.
argument. This is this is an argument about the state of the country ultimately, and I think I'm glad we got to this point because I think you agree with me that when the Democrats are in power, you're going to want that majority rule in the Senate, aren't you?
No, no,
Especially in
no,
5 years. Especially in
no,
5 years. Okay, so look,
no,
this is
because
what
no matter
this is
what
what I would do.
happens,
I would
whether we
read up
pass
on
good
this.
laws or bad laws, you
This is
still
why
create that confusion, that uncertainty that fucks us over the long term.
Nvidia's
If the
worth $5
Democrats
trillion.
pass good laws,
Did you
that
know
just
that?
creates a pendulum effect that creates
Dude,
backlash. Okay, if you pass laws without consensus, I would rather no laws be passed. I would rather the status quo
60% to
continue
51.
than
That's
allow
it.
one
Move
party to
faster.
use the
I keep
full power
repeating
of
that.
government to change every single law.
No, presidents have
They
veto
couldn't change every
power.
law.
The
Costello,
House
please explain
bills
to
have to go
everybody.
through the
Use the
House.
last like 3 minutes. Explain how with the
Can I?
House. So right now, under the current government, Trump's the president, Mike Johnson's the Speaker of the House, John Thune is the Senate leader. If you got rid of the filibuster, how would that not allow the Republican majority to change every law in the country if they wanted
Dude,
to?
you know what? I honestly don't think Trump so look, you're seeing this through this bipartisan lens. I'm
They
not
have that
talking about
power.
giving Trump filibuster, right? I don't want Trump to have the filibuster. Well, I don't want that. That's not what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Oh,
What
the
I
good guys.
said, when I
I
finished,
missed that part of the
dude, when I
topic. When I
finished,
read the topic, I didn't
dude,
realize it
when
said
I
only the
finished,
good
this is what I
guys lose the
said.
filibuster.
I said the Democrats are going to need this for when AI destroys the economy. What's the response?
Okay, but the
What's your response
Democrats,
to that? Like,
my response
what
is the
is it?
Democrats at
Yeah,
any given year are less likely to control the Senate than the Republicans. So this removing the filibuster benefits the Republicans more than the Democrats over the long term and in the
dude,
immediate term. The
I
Democrats
think
don't control the Senate now. So if we take the topic in the present tense, getting rid of the filibuster means Trump gets to
the
pass the SAVE
Democrats
Act.
can
If we
absolutely
take
win the
the near
Senate, man.
future, the
Especially when
Democrats are
Trump,
poised to win the
dude,
Senate.
Look, dude, you don't like Trump, dude. Maybe I don't.
I
Trump's
don't
gonna
like
mess up
one
this.
party. I don't like
Listen,
one
I'll tell you.
party on the verge of controlling our
Hang on.
government and
If you
showing.
thought Trump was bad, then you would agree with this. Trump is gonna fuck up this administration. He's gonna fuck up the country. He's gonna fuck up the administration. And this is how the Democrats are gonna win the Senate, dude. And this is how about this?
No.
How about this? When the Democrats win the Senate because Trump ruins half this country with this China invasion, right? The
In
China's gonna invade
2032,
Taiwan.
the Republicans can
No,
lose
hold on.
Wisconsin,
This is
Pennsylvania.
2027. Listen, right? When Trump ruins everything, the Democrats are going to win the Senate, right? And by this time, AI will have proliferated so much that the time will have come and gone to pass this filibuster. I think they should. I think the Democrats, when they, as soon as they take the Senate, whenever they can, I think they're going to take it the next cycle. As soon as they can, I think they should vote to get rid of the fucking filibuster so this country can compete on a global stage, so we can protect our, like, we take it for granted how open and free and beautiful this country is. Dude, outside of Europe, the world is a miserable fucking place,
It's a
dude.
scary
So
world
America
out
needs to
there.
be on
It's gonna
top. And
get a lot more
you're
scary without the
you're just
filibuster.
advocating for you're advocating for like stonewalling and partisanship and brickwalling and no laws being passed. That's a good way to lose your fucking country, bro. Good luck. You'll lose it. Look up this arms race that we're in when this is over. Really, and do some research on
And
it.
this is
All right.
over. That's the time,
That is
guys.
time. We'll be doing our 2-minute outros. For all the judges listening out there, after the debaters do their outro, DM me your vote for which one was the winner. We'll also be having a vote inside chat for the popular vote. There'll be a poll
Yeah,
going up in a bit, but 2 minutes. I think because Costello started, he will also start the outros. So 2 minutes, Costello.
Oh
The
God.
time starts now.
Yeah. Wow. Damn. Like, I get Thick Boy. Your heart's in the right spot. But what I heard most of the time, like 95% of the time, was the Republicans shouldn't get like majority vote in the Senate. Like that wasn't the argument at all. Like, I even agree with that. Like, I don't want the filibuster to be removed today because Trump is like wild and crazy, dude. Right? But you didn't touch at all on this like more prescient, more holistic, like fundamental view of the state of the country, right? And you also didn't really talk about, like you said, because the filibuster gets removed, there's just this open floodgate of laws being passed. That's not what I'm advocating at all. I'm not advocating, and it's hard to know like what exactly will happen when legislation gets changed like this and big legislation. But if even not removing the 51% majority rule, still I'm advocating for more lubrication here for the Senate. And I think everyone really agrees with that. I think both parties agree with that. The president talks about this, like Democrats talk about this. I know Elizabeth Warren talks about this, removing the filibuster. I think we both want it. The Democrats just don't want it right now. And that isn't an argument. We need to move faster because like technology is a big deal. It's like this growth curve that's exponential. I know it's really unintuitive, but we're really on this special spot of this growth curve, and we're gonna need to make big, tough decisions soon. And I think this country can do it. I think we have the ingenuity. We just need the bravery, the balls. So let's just reduce some of this friction and get more things moving forward. And if they suck, then we fix them fast. We just got to move fast. Yeah.
That is time. However, too thick boy for the last 2 minutes. Your 2-minute outro starts now.
Yeah, the filibuster is the best way to prevent a single party from taking control of all laws in the near future. It is extremely likely that in our lifetimes there will be multiple parties that control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. We don't want them to be able to change every single law. There's no reason to think they're going to pass the defeat China law. In fact, it seems like we get more defeat China laws under bipartisan rule. And there's no reason to think they're not going to use that position to consolidate their own power, like we've been seeing them do in every other realm of politics. He doesn't give you a reason to think there will be good laws passed. He just says, like, we need more laws, we need more doing stuff. But if parties are focused on how much they hate each other, they're not focused on how much they hate AI, okay? So their priority right now is taking power. That's what they're going to use, the absence of the filibuster. He couldn't admit that without the filibuster, the Senate can change laws. I think that was a poor behavior. And even if we do pass good laws and they get removed, and we pass bad laws and they get removed, and it goes on, so on and so forth, like I already said, that means all of our 401ks go down. That means more people are unemployed. That means investors say, I don't know if I'm building that factory. Who knows what the laws are going to be? It just means we all live in a shittier place where one party, a spoil system erupts, where when the party gets in power, they enact as many laws, take as much stuff, and grab as much shit as they can before they're booted out in the next 2 years. If we're lucky, because what we're looking at is one party staying in that position indefinitely, which is what's happened to basically every other democracy in the world. Yeah, it's not really what. Yeah, just. Vote Khan. I don't. Yeah, you didn't make a point. You didn't make a single point this whole time. I was really sad. You hate to see it.
Right. There. Are we putting up a poll in the side chat? Or unless it's already there. I'm not sure. I believe it's still putting it
No,
up.
I'm doing it right now. So give me just a sec, guys.
All right. All right. Poll in side chat. There's also a link to check your registration to vote. If you're to do that.
Yes. And actually, the best way to do that is join our server. Go to Digital Ground Game. We actually have a CTA where you can literally click the button in our server and check your registration from right there. And that's what will actually help us get the points to beat our dear friends Progressive Victory. So, yes, hit the link, but also we'd love to have you over in our neck of the woods. And I'll get the server up, pull up in 1 sec. Sorry.
So we have a lot more people than we did at the beginning. Space Chicken Monster got married. So, there's some hope for everyone out there. And also, everyone have a happy Mother's Day. See you tomorrow.
Happy mama.
Give a little time for people to vote inside chat, and also check the judges' results.
All right, and the poll is live. And also, I would like to say a very, very happy birthday to my friend and yours, Kai. She will be 1 year older come Monday. So everybody sing her happy birthday. Hit her up. Let her know we love her. We're so glad she's here.
All right.
Happy birthday, guy.
Right. All right, we'll give another minute for people to put in their votes. After that, we'll cutting it off. Who's gonna listen to a fucking 45-minute debate and not even fucking vote? That'd be crazy.
Right?
It seems like a lot of people want to continue this conversation after the debate. Might have to keep going. Crowd doesn't want it to end.
We're at
We'll probably cut
38
off the stream now.
votes. We can do better than that. Come on,
38
guys.
votes. Out of 52 people? That's like a little bit more than 60%. What is that? Yeah. We'll probably
Yeah,
end the
come
stream,
on.
but you guys can keep the game going. Seems like this is a very hot topic.
Yeah. Well, let me know when you're ready, Retro.
I'm getting ratioed. Oh no. No, filibuster.
Oh my.
All right, we're at 39 votes. Can we get 40? Come on, guys.
Never gonna
Can we
pass
get
any
40?
laws ever again,
Get
guys.
to 80%.
Never again.
Yeah. Can we get a 40? Can we get a 40? Can we get a 40? Raise it up.
All right. Let's end it there.
All right, let's
Whoever
do
didn't
it.
vote, didn't vote.
39
Anytime.
votes.
Can we get a 40
All
vote? Can we
right,
get a
so
40 vote?
it's pretty unanimous, friends. We have a 36 for Thick Boy with. I'm sorry, Costello. You only got 3, but
Oh no.
Oh,
we appreciate you
gosh.
playing. I think it was a wonderful
I
effort.
love crap. Wow.
Congratulations,
damn.
Thick Boy. Our
We're gonna
round
keep the
3,
filibuster. Oh
our
god.
round 3
All
winner
right.
of the Digital Ground Game Summer Debate Night Tournament. So
Got the
that's
popular
awesome.
vote.
Yeah.
Now we'll look at the judges.
I'm just happy I did it with such grace and class, you know.
You didn't, dude.
Right.
All
Oh, and I'm
right.
announcing shit. We're not done. We're not done. We have some
True, we're not
judge
done after
input.
this shit.
Sorry.
Right.
There's still a chance.
I wish I was on camera right now. A unanimous decision. We have all judges going for Thick Boy. Goddamn. Costello, I appreciate you. You put your soul in it, but yeah, Thick Boy was just it's like got the unanimous decision. That's
it's not meant to be,
strikeout.
but
Not meant to be. Damn.
but it's always good to see you, and we're so glad
You got it, guys.
are so brave and wonderful and got up here. So everybody talking shit, you know, it takes some balls to jump on this stage, and you two
True.
still have an opportunity to join us. So if somebody wants to throw the sign up sheet, and we still have
True.
about 4 slots in our bracket left. So we'd love to have you go ahead and sign up and see if you could do a better job before you talk some junk.
True. All right.
Thank you.
That's it for the debate night. However, it seems like some people want to continue this on afterwards, doing some after hours shit going now. But yeah, we'll probably end the stream there, but you guys can continue on the conversation. I don't know if there's any mods here who would like to head this thing.
I'll go ahead and I'll end it. All right, see you guys in a debate. One of them.
Real shit.
Bye.
These are handoffs. You guys got this from here?
Yeah, it's debate 3.
All right, debate 3.
After hours. I'll hand it over to
the
you
after
guys.
party in debate 3.
Oh,
All right. Bye.
debate 3. Debate 3. Real shit.
All right, here we go. We're ending it now. Here you go. Take it easy.
All right. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We'll see you guys next Saturday. Or feel free to jump in on Destiny's server or digitalgroundgame.org. See you guys later.